Chapter 77 Carol's Redemption. Oh boy. It was a rainy day, and it starts out with me, Lincoln, Linka, and Lily playing video games, and Marie, Eileen, Gabriella, Lucy, and Lainey are reading books. I guess that's a step in the right direction, right? Having girls playing video games instead of just, all the guys playing video games and the girls reading books because girls like books and guys like video games. Of course, there aren't any guys reading books, but whatever. I've got you now, I say. I don't think so, JD, says Lily. We'll see about that, says Lincoln. Can you beat JD in video games? Because obviously you can't if you can't beat him in a fight, but maybe. Would is James Knutson capable of that level of humility? No, no. Personally, I would never write a fanfic where I lose, especially in video games. I'm a total gamer. What is this? Out of my way. We'll see about that, says Lincoln. We were playing a racing game, and Lily beat us. Oh my god! Yes, I won! Exclaims Lily. Oh man, Lily, you are awesome, I say. You don't. They don't call me the Queen of Games for nothing. Yeah, says Lily. I can't argue with that, says Linka. I can. The doorbell rang. I'll get that, says Lenny. Lenny walked up to the door and opened it, and on the porch stood Carol Pingree, and she was wet, cold, shivering, and crying. Her clothes were shredded, and her hair was a mess. Yeah, it can't be like on equal terms, Carol admits she was wrong, and no, no, no. Carol has to be beaten down, embarrassed, you know, on her last leg before, last little bit of humiliation before she joins the good guys. Her clothes were shredded and her hair was a mess. Carol, why are you here? Asks Laney. I got dis- I got disowned by my parents, and I have nowhere to go. You mean the same parents who sent you to that school, that mental institute? I mean, after they let a bunch of people into your house to beat you up because you said mean things about them online. You mean those parents? Wow. Oh, color me surprised. And here I thought they were really good. Real model parents. Cries Carol. Oh man, says Laney. You got disowned? That's horrible, I say. Yeah, sucks. Maybe you'll feel a little bad about all the awful things you did to her. You know? Hey, there it is. A bully who has a horrible home life. How many times has that been done? Easy pickings right there. And then you apologize because you realize, oh, I shouldn't have been mean to you for being mean to me because your life is actually really bad. But no. Why is it? Why does that keep happening? It's always parents disowning children, In the chapter where like 10 different people got superpowers, half of their parents disowned them. Is that like the only, it's not like it's either they're okay with it and they're like, "Oh yeah, that's cool. I still love you. You're still my kid." It's black and white with James, isn't it? It can't ever be like because that would take actual writing prowess to have like a family experience turmoil from this radical change in one of its family members. You know, maybe one of the parents is ecstatic. Oh, think of all the good they can do, and then the other parent thinks, well, no, power like this can only attract trouble, and I worry for their safety. And then there's conflict between the two guardians. It's too much for James. He's got that single cog in his brain. I guess you'd need two cogs to write this much, anyways. Where was I? Nope. You got disowned. That's horrible, I say. Come on, says Marie. We took her to the kitchen. Very weird. You're being oddly hospitable to your sworn enemy. You know, if you like, because you went and beat the hell out of her for being mean online. I hope I'm thinking of the same person. Um, mean comments online drove you to finding where she lived and then beating her up. That's the type of cruelty we expect from JD and his gang of mutants. So if anything, them learning that her parents disowned her, they would all be like, "Good decision. You deserve it. You're the worst. You said I am ugly online, and I guess that means you deserve to die or something." You know? But whatever. I guess maybe it's just an angry day for them. Yeah, superheroes have bad days too, and that's what justifies them just going around abusing their power. I'm getting off track so early. This is gonna be a freaking 5 hour one. Uh, what was I? Versus, come on. We took her into the kitchen and brought her some food and water. I made her some spaghetti and meatballs. Why? Okay, I'm sorry to get off track again, but how? In what universe does Carol come here after her parents disown her? You mean the people who keep tormenting you and ruining your life are is maybe later on in the chapter she's gonna be all like, "Oh, I went to everybody I could think of, and they all turned me away." But even still, man, I would sooner become homeless than willingly enter the house of people who might just straight up kill me if I say JD is kind of dumb, or if I say Lainey and Robbie make a horrible couple, and then here comes the gang, pitchforks ready. Not that they need them. Well, with all the fucking superpowers. Um, but yeah, my point is, why would she ever come here? She would have to be out of options in an extreme way. Anyways, we took food and water. I made her some spaghetti and meatballs she was eating, and we decided to talk to her. Oh, do you? What drove your parents to kick you out? I asked. I got back from reform school. Okay, this is the right person. School 3 days ago. 3 days, and you look like you've been through a shredder. How does your clothing become torn up like that after 3 days of, I guess, homelessness? Granted, I've never been homeless. Whatever. 3 days ago, and I got into a horrible argument with my father, and they kicked me out of the house. When I was living on the street, I discovered that I had another version of me inside of me. Oh, fuck me. Oh, right. How convenient. And then it's separated from you, and then you become a good guy. Maybe that's what happened with Anakin Skywalker, off screen or in between chapters. Just, yeah, whatever. Real convenient, right, though? I mean, maybe it makes you think, how many other bad guys have you beaten up or killed who maybe just have an evil version of themselves inside them? Oh well. Another you? Asks Free. Like a split personality? Asks Lainey. Yes, Lainey. She comes out when I get angry. I call her Morgan. She made me do all sorts of terrible things as her. How did you know about that? Well, firstly, it's because you told her, and secondly, because it's happened with what? Luann? Right? Luann had her evil side come out, and that's why we don't have any more April Fool's chapters. Because JD thinks Luann's being too cruel. Anywho, how did you know about that? Asks Carol. I want to become a forensic and criminal psychologist when I grow up. It's always been one of my key interests, says Lainey. Oh, duh. Yes, duh. I want to become a forensic. Nope, reading it again. I can't believe it. Morgan is very ruthless and I can't control her. Now she's appearing whenever she wants, says Carol. Carol's eyes turn red. Wow, speak of the devil. I can do anything I want. I've always been better than Laurie, says Carol. I guess I should say, says Morgan. Carol comes back. See? That was. I didn't. Hold on, let me read that again. I can do whatever I want. I've always been better than Laurie. Okay. Yeah, whatever. See, that was Morgan, says Carol. Wicked. I've read Wicked. I've read that book, The Strange Case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, and it was very interesting. Split personalities have have caused a lot of problems for a lot of people around the world, says Lucy. I guess this is very serious, says Eileen. I thought you liked vampires, Lucy. Where did that come from? I thought you liked vampires, Lucy, says Lainey. Oh, is it because, weird that Lucy read a book that wasn't about vampires. Is this like, because I know, like, all of the Loud sisters are basically just walking stereotypes, you know? Oh, the funny one, the nerdy one, etc., etc. The goth one. It's clever commentary on JD's part, pointing out Lucy's usual one-note behavior. I'm giving him too much credit. It was definitely not that. I'm actually all into all the monsters and themes of horror, says Lucy. I can believe it, says Lincoln. British accent. I'm not doing the. You know what? I'm not in the mood. This Morgan persona is a very dangerous creature, and we have to stop it, says Gabriella. Lisa comes in. I believe I have the solution, friends and siblings. Follow me, please, says Lisa. We all follow Lisa into her laboratory, and she shows us a strange machine. Do you think there's going to be a time? You think there's going to be a crossover with Dexter's laboratory, and then Dexter and Lisa start dating? I don't know how old either of them are, but they certainly seem this similar size. Where was I? Laboratory Strange Machine. This is my prototype persona remover. I just finished it 5 days ago. Why did you make it? Let's not think about that, says Lisa. Cool, says Eileen. I don't know, Lisa. Are you sure this is safe? Asks Lainey. It is, elder sister. I tested it on a person with dissociative identity disorder, street name, split personality, and removed 4 personas from that person and cured him. Wow, we could sure use that on TikTok. Ha 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 ha. Because of the whole DID, fake DID stuff that was happening a lot. I don't know if it's still happening now. I don't use TikTok that much. And cured him, says Lisa. But how do you know you got the right one? What if you accidentally took out the one that was supposed to be there, and now instead of Jim, you've got Frederick, the night murderer? I don't know. I'm just assuming that's one of his personas, and now he's the only one that. Whatever. I'm getting off track. I keep doing that. Wow, I say, that's amazing, Lisa, says Marie. Incredible. This could be a new giant step in the fields of mental medicine, says Gabriella. It is, says Lisa. Well, if this will help me get rid of Morgan, then I'll do it. I want to redeem myself and rebuild my friendship with Lori and rebuild my life, says Carol. That's so sweet. I'm gonna kill myself. I want to see this in action. This looks really cool. Plus, Luann got light powers because her evil persona got out of her on its own. Good, good. Can Carol get powers? I've heard about that, says Carol, adding nothing to the conversation. We put Carol in the machine and turned it on. A red smoke covered her. In the recesses of her mind, it went in and grabbed Morgan. On the outside, in the second pod, the red smoke manifested into Morgan. Oh my god, when it was done, Carol was forever changed and the machine opened up. How do you feel, Carol? I ask. I feel great. I can't hear her anymore. I'm cured, says Carol. It really worked, I say. I can't believe it, says Marie. Incredible, says Lainey. Wicked, says Lucy. That is cool, says Lily. This is amazing, says Lincoln. No kidding, says Linka. Wait, look, says Gabriella. We all seen the second pod, and it opened up and revealed Morgan. Oh, she was a red-haired Carol. And she had red eyes and red clothes. That's how you know she's evil. Or a fire type. Where the crud am I, says Morgan. Only evil people use crud. So we finally meet on the physical plane, Morgan, I say. Technically, you already didn't you? Because Morgan temporarily took control of Carol's body. And you were both physical at that moment. Yeah, I'm not gonna bother. JD's an idiot. If you hear my door bust down, it's because the Team Loud Phoenix Storm has come to rip out my organs because I insulted their awesome leader. Where was I? On the physical plane. This is exactly what has happened when I tested it. My machine separates the evil personalities of a person with a split personality from the original host. It creates a physical manifestation of that persona and makes them a separate being. Could it not have just gotten rid of them? And furthermore, could it not have just contained them? Did it have to open up on its own? I feel like you know, it would be safer to just lock it and not. What am I? What am I hearing? Sorry, I'm listening to music. It's an unfamiliar part. Well, I don't know. It feels a lot safer to just keep them locked up, or shoot them into the sky and let them disperse. I don't know. I don't know how to get rid of evil energy. I'm sure you guys will figure something out eventually. Also, does it only get rid of evil personalities? Because like DID doesn't exclusively have evil. It's not like if I had DID, it'd be me, and then evil me, and then another evil. There's just like maybe is me, and then there's I don't know Bob, and he likes alcohol. That's the only thing I could think of. Would he be removed? Because I mean, granted, he would be kind of harmless, maybe a bit of a burden. I don't know. I'm thinking too much into this stupid fanfic. I do that too often. Anyways, persona split persona from the original host. It creates a physical manifestation of that persona and makes them a separate being. The life energy is not linked, and we can destroy them without any fatal repercussions to the original host. Okay. So you do intend to destroy them, but only after you've given them form. Awesome. So we can fight her without causing any harm to Carol? Well, Marie, if you were listening, that is exactly what Lisa just goddamn said. That's great! Now I can make this lowlife pay for ruining my life, says Carol. I will gladly assist you, Carol, says Lisa. I will kill you both and take over as Carol forever, says Morgan. Wait! Let's have you fight in the simulator. I know just the scenario too, I say. Simulator? What's that? Asks Carol. And Morgan's gonna go along with this? I guess, yeah, well, she's evil, not unreasonable, I guess. Ooh, it's raining. Hold on, let me open the blinds. A little bit of rain. Set the mood for I'm feeling IRL currently at this moment. Okay. Simulator, what's that? Ooh, it's really coming down. Uh, we'll show you. Eileen, you go get Lori. She's gonna want to know about this, says Viri. She doesn't know yet? Okay. Okay, says Eileen, leaving to get Lori. Lori's room. Lori was texting Bobby on her phone when her door opened. Lori! I'm sorry to come in like this, but we have a big problem. I'll explain on the way to the simulator. Come on, says Eileen. Lori got up and grabbed her sword and joined Eileen as they ran. So what's up, Eileen? Asks Lori. Couldn't you? What? You could just say that. You could say, I'll explain on the way, and then cut straight to the next scene. We don't actually need to see Lori being told what's happening. It's a waste of time, James. Oh my god, okay. Where, where was I? Grabbed her sword. You're gonna think I'm crazy, but Carol Pingree has a split personality that made her do all sorts of terrible things, says Eileen. That viper Carol is a monster that deserved what she got, says Lori, being surprisingly, realistically human right now instead of just fanfic person. What is this? I've never heard this part. Sorry, it's the music again. I can't keep getting distracted like this, but it's gonna happen. So I don't know why I'm. I can't. What I gotta do is stop pointing it out, because that's what's annoying. Anyways, but yeah, frankly, considering how much hate and disdain and spite and malice that this group holds for Carol, I would have expected a lot more of, if not all of them, to be acting like Lori right now. Not to say that she's exactly in the right, but at least it makes sense for her character. Okay. What was I? I'm not kidding, Lori. It made her do all that. It made her destroy your friendship with her, and it made her into someone she's not, says Eileen. And that's all the convincing she needed. Are you serious, Eileen? Asks Lori. Yes, Carol told us And Lisa just removed Carol's evil persona, now who she calls Morgan, with her new persona remover machine, the persona removinator. And Carol and Lisa are going to fight her. Why Carol and Lisa? Why Lisa? I mean, I understand why Carol is, but why Lisa? I guess it's her machine. She feels responsible. Let's say that. I'm going to fight her, says Eileen. I won't believe it until I see it, but I have a feeling you're right, says Lori. Great. Then just believe her. It also made her parents disown her 3 days ago and made her homeless, says Eileen. What? Are you serious? Asks Lori. Yes, I am, says Eileen. They entered the simulator control room, and Lori saw Carol looking at Morgan with intense rage and vengeful hatred. Is that red-haired girl Morgan? Asks Lori. Yes, she's a physical embodiment of Carol's rage, arrogance, narcissism, pride, and sociopathic nature. Oh, yeah. Real sociopath to say mean things online. Hell, if that's what it takes, then maybe I'm a sociopath. I don't have a spotless track record. I was a bit of an asshole in my younger, immature years of gaming. Actually, that might not be true. I mean, if people shit talked me, I would shit talk back, sure. But I would never actively, be an ass. I don't think. Maybe, maybe not. She's extremely ruthless, says Eileen. Lori went into the simulator. Carol! Calls Lori. Lori! Carol hugs Lori and cries. Lori, I'm so sorry I broke off our friendship. It was because I had a split personality. She points to Morgan. She made me do all those horrible things to you and ruined my life. And now it's Lori's turn to apologize for beating on Carol, even though technically it wasn't her fault. But they're not going to do that. Carol, actually, they might. I'll believe it when I see it. Carol, I can now see that it wasn't your fault, says Lori. Carol gets better. Yeah, says Carol. Now let's destroy this demon, says Lori. Yeah, says Carol. Lori and Carol high five. No, wait, hold on. Boom. In the control room, I punched in the scenario. Coming online, girls, I say. The simulator. The simulator activated, and Lori, Carol, and Lisa found themselves in the movie Dragonheart from 1996. I remember this. It's the final fight from the movie Dragonheart. I used to watch this movie all the time when I was growing up, says Lori. Me too. I love dragons, says Carol. They have so much in common. They're rekindling their friendship. Great minds do think alike for some people, though. But for some people, even though dragons are mythological beings, says Lisa. Well, let's show this monster what power of friendship can do. I have no idea what Dragonheart is. Lori spreads her blue wings and unsheathes her Scottish claymore. Claymore? I guess, yeah. I'm thinking of the Claymore from TF2. I could, and obviously the Claymore is in the explosive. So I guess I'm just kind of, it's not like TF2 is exactly reliable in the naming of its weaponry. So I'm just going to assume that Claymore. Yeah. Actually, yeah, I know that Claymore is a sword as well as an explosive. What am I on about? Let's get her, says Carol. Oh, is this a big fight? Better clear my throat. Wouldn't want to mess this up. Let me take a sip. It's getting worse, actually. It's gonna whatever. Lori, Carol, and Lisa charged, and Carol punched Morgan in the face, and Lisa kicked her in the stomach. Lori then slashed Morgan in the face with one swing of her sword and fired a blast of wind that sent her crashing into the wall of the fortress they were in. Morgan got up and charged toward them in a blind rage. Lori kicked Morgan in the chin, and Carol punched her in the mouth and knocked out some of her teeth. Lisa kicked Morgan in the back and sent her flying up into the air. Lori flew up and dealt an axe kick and sent her crashing through the castle floor. Morgan got up, and she was enraged beyond all forms of human comprehension. I will kill you all, screams Morgan. You know what I don't understand? Why only these three are fighting? Why Lisa, Carol, and Lori instead of literally everybody? right? It doesn't have to be a big spectacle, all team up, kill her, because he's clearly evil, without remorse, and then boom, go about your day. Nobody had to risk getting hurt, but whatever. I guess we have to have our confrontation, because I guess it's fun. It's more fun this way, which is strange, because I'm certainly not having any fun. You brought it all on yourself, Morgan. You destroyed my friendship with Carol. Got her in a lot of trouble at school, ruined her social her social status, and you even destroyed her family and made her homeless. It's over for you, says Lori. Suddenly, out of the blue, a strange blue cloud, oh, here it comes, appeared and out of nowhere, and it enveloped Carol. The Geiger counter in the room showed that it was radiation. Oh no, maybe everybody who isn't Carol should leave. Oh, it's cosmic radiation, I say. Carol suddenly started glowing, and she was in a blinding flash of blue light. When it died down, Carol was on the ground. I feel really weird. What happened? Asks Carol. I think you have powers like me, Carol, says Lori. I do? Let me see here, says Carol. Carol held out her hand, and she fired an orange heat ray, and it hit the wall and exploded into a huge inferno. So basically firepower again. But at least this time the cloud that gave her powers was blue. Whoa! Exclaims Clory, I just said. You know what? Who cares? The explosion caused some of the castle to collapse as Bowen and Einon were sword fighting and the rubble collapsed onto Einon, burying him under a pile of stones. The explosion blew Morgan into another wall. Jumping fireballs, I say. Ah, that's really cool. I want to go myself. What power, says Lincoln. Incredible, says Linka. Wow, says Laney. Wait, I've seen that heat ray before. It was from the Godzilla franchise, says Eileen. Okay. Godzilla? I exclaim. I remember a scene from one of my favorite Godzilla movies, and it was from Godzilla versus Space Godzilla. Godzilla had an enhanced atomic breath ray that was orange and it destroyed Space Godzilla. I saw that heat ray too. It was awesome. That cosmic radiation must have given Carol some of the powers of some of the Godzilla monsters. Naturally. Are you sure it wasn't the god of kaiju? I don't know, man. Maybe Vishnu came down and granted them radiation powers. Buddha came over. Just, pull it out of your ass. Make up a god. Who cares? That'd be too creative for James here. How is it that James has so many favorites, favorite movies and shows and this and that and this? It kind of devalues his opinion of things. If you have like 100 favorite movies, well, that just means that you like movie. You don't because I've got a few favorites. The Grand Budapest is one of my favorite movies. Um, I certainly enjoy plenty of movies that aren't the Grand Budapest, plenty of movies that are worse than the Grand Budapest, but I still enjoy them. I don't know. It's not important. But I feel like every time James JD here is going to reference, you know, some kind of piece of media, he's going to be all like, "Oh, this was my favorite." I'm getting off track, like in a major way. It must have, says Marie. Unbelievable, says Gabriella. Ooh, lightning. Maybe I'm getting my choosing, my elemental choosing, my power choosing, whatever it's called. Maybe Thor will come in and embed his hammer in my in my rib cage, and then I'll get the powers of lightning. Never made sense, by the way. Thor, god of thunder, and his main power is lightning. Just call him god of lightning. Whatever, unimportant. Unbelievable, says Gabriella. Back in the simulator, Carol was shocked. Incredible. I now have powers like you, Lori, says Carol. JD, we'll have to look this up when we get back, says Lori. Precisely. Oh my, it will be the god of kaiju. Let's finish our fight, says Lisa. Let me help you all, says Bowen. Yeah, because we need more help, Bowen. Absolutely obliterating this evil version of one of us that has no powers is just it's too hard. I'm getting a cramp. I'm a little winded. I mean, ignore the fact that most of her bones are broken and at least 50% of her blood is outside of her body. But hey, better safe than sorry. But if that was the case, then you would have brought in everybody into the simulator and killed her. Hell, you would have killed her as soon as she stepped out of that pod. I hate you. I hate you and you. I'm pointing to them. I'm pointing to, you can't tell, but I'm pointing to Marie, Gabriella, Carol, Lori, Lisa, Bowen. Well, I guess I don't know Bowen much. We'll say Bowen gets a pass. where am I? Friggin' let me help you all, says Bowen. Sir Bowen, we greatly appreciate it, says Lori. You're welcome, says Bowen. Let me assist you too, says question mark. Kara came out. Kara, thank you, says Carol. You're welcome, says Kara. Einon will not die that easily. As long as Draco lives, he is immortal. That explosion may have slowed Einon down, but it was not enough to kill him, says Lori. We're doing too much. We're doing two things at once right now. Fixing up Carol and like doing a simulator chapter where they go to Dragonheart. I don't know why. This is dumb. Why was this the perfect scenario that JD chose? I realize that now. But I can't kill Draco. He's my friend, says Bowen. I know a way around it, but first let's destroy this wretch, says Lori. We heard you fight up here in we heard your fight up here, and you've done a good job, says Bowen. Thank you. Let's go, says Lori. Morgan got up, and she has a sword now. Oh my God! It's over for them. She's got a sword. Those hurt. Last I checked. Ow! Ow! It was a claymore. Now you will all die, says Morgan, overconfident, cocky. Morgan charged, and Lori and Morgan clashed. Sparks were flying everywhere and setting the whole castle on fire. Not, no, no, not how swords work. But hey, I'm glad you got a flair for art, for drama, James. But Lori caught Morgan off guard and stabbed her in the heart and killed her. Okay, that was for Carol, says Lori. Obviously, Morgan exploded into a cloud of red glitter. Awesome. Einon showed up and he was mangled up really bad. You have not beaten me yet. I'm immortal, says Einon. Einon? Enon? Anon? Who knows? Not anymore, you're not, says Lori, chanting an incantation. Jastestiga, non lekmin, edzup, edxup, Krinsega Solomaraz Nor. I must have butchered that. The soul of Draco exited Einon and went back to Draco, and he was whole again. What happened? Asks Einon. Oh. Oh. Einon is the friend. Okay, weird. So so Bowen didn't want to kill Einon, or he didn't want to kill Draco because it would also kill Einon. I'm not going to pretend. No, no, I'm not getting into this. I just plain don't know Dragonheart, so I won't bother. What happened? Asks Einon. You're mortal again. You've lost Einon, says Lori to Einon. We've won, Einon. Your reign of terror is finished forever, says Bowen. What? Wait, is Einon not a good guy? I can't kill Draco. He's my friend. Draco suddenly broke out of the trains that were holding him down, and he flew up and he landed behind Bowen, Kara, Lori, Carol, and Lisa, and roared. I am now whole again, and it's over for you. Our link has been severed, and I can now do this, says Draco. Draco blew a stream of fire out of his nose, and it set Einon on fire, and he was screaming. Okay, I was just misinterpreting the situation. In excruciating pain, Carol fired a heat ray, and the castle exploded from underneath him and incinerated him, because, he wasn't already burning to death. So pointless and dumb. That's it for him, says Carol. Affirmative, says Lisa. I hope he has a nice time in the netherworld along with Morgan, says Lori. Yep, Lori, Lisa, thank you. I am now free, says Carol. We couldn't have done this without you, says Bowen. Well, in the movie, I assume the good guys win, so maybe you could have. Anywho, we couldn't have done this without you, says Bowen. It was our pleasure, Sir Bowen. We come from another time and it's complicated, says Lori, bringing that up for no friggin' reason. I see. Thank you all, says Bowen. The simulator deactivated and Lori, Carol, and Lisa went into the living room with all of us. Weird. It's not in my book. Carol, you got your powers from cosmic radiation. Its effects are completely unpredictable, I say. Weird. I don't even know what else I can do, says Carol. Carol suddenly felt a sharp pain in her back. What could this possibly be? And she suddenly sprouted purple angel wings, and we all gasped. That that must look awful. Purple angel wings? Maybe it's not just all one color. I've been imagining them as all one color. Kind of hard to, what with the white angel wings and dark angel wings. I assume it's just white and black. Anywho, whoa, that was weird. Why does my back feel so heavy? Asks Carol. Why does everybody say the exact same line when they get wings? I guess maybe if I got wings, I'd say something similar. So, hey, who's to say? You've sprouted wings, Carol, says Lori. Carol saw the wings and gasped. I have a lot to learn now that I've got powers like some of you, but I have nowhere to go now that I've been disowned by my parents, even though maybe you could go to them and maybe explain the situation. Who the hell cares? They wouldn't listen. Because you need to join. You need to join the Nuts and Loud Anderson family. Let's talk to Mr. Lynn and Miss Rita then, I say. We called Lynn Sr. and Rita into the living room. So what's up, guys? Asks Lynn Sr. Mom, Dad, we found out that Carol has been disowned by her mother and father after having a terrible argument. Carol is here with us. Carol stood before them. Hello, Mr. and Mrs. Loud, says Carol. Why would your own family disown you? Asks Lynn Sr. It's a complicated story, says Carol. I've called in the principal, Mr. Livingston, and our teacher, Mrs. Harrington, so we can tell them too. Awesome. Oh, what are you? Is this you fixing what you've done? Getting her expelled and all that. So we can tell them too. I say. When they arrived, we explained everything, and Principal Livingston, Mrs. Harrington, and Lynn Senior and Rita were shocked. Carol, that is horrible. We had no idea, says Rita. You see, if these guys are willing to listen, surely her parents are too. Nobody knew about it until it was too late, I say. Principal Livingston. Right. Carol, we had no idea you were going through all of that, says Principal Livingston. I didn't even know about it myself, Principal, says Carol. I can tell. Thank you for calling us over, JD. We can now help Carol deal with this evil personality problem of hers. It's already been dealt with. What? Says Principal Livingston to me. Yes, I can tell she's been through a terrible ordeal, says Mrs. Harrington. Yes, and you're welcome, but that won't be necessary. Oh, okay. They're bringing that up. Lisa has here invented a machine that removed this evil personality, and we fought it and destroyed it. I say. Interesting. May we see this machine? Why? Why do you need to see the machine? Whatever. Can we see this machine, please? Asks Mrs. Harrington. Certainly. This way, please. Answers Lisa. We all show them the persona remover machine, and Lisa explained how it worked. This is an amazing piece of machinery, says Mrs. Harrington. Indeed, Lisa, you are a great inventor, says Principal Livingston. Thank you, Principal Livingston. I am always available whenever my siblings, friends, and parental units require my help. Says Lisa, I can believe it. School starts next Monday, everyone, says Principal Livingston. Great. Understood, sir. See you then, I say. Principal Livingston and Mrs. Harrington left, and Lynn Sr. and Rita decided to have Carol be part of the family. She now lives in Lori's room as a roommate, and after 2.5 years, they finally reconciled their friendship. Yay! The end. Another fanfiction completed. This one was this this one was a good one for me. The idea for this one appeared out of the blue. I watched Dragonheart a lot, and I love dragons. They are awesome creatures. Dragons are my number one favorite mythological creature. Carol Pingree having a split personality was another out of the blue idea for me. Really? Oh, yeah. So it just came to you? It's not like you've already done that idea before? None of this was out of the blue. You probably did it because apparently later in the show, Carol becomes a friend she goes from being a bully to a friend in the show. So it was a matter of time, unless you were going to be creative enough to, you know, revamp the chapters but continue to have Carol be a bully. Unlikely. What was I? The awesome tree dragon split personality came out of the blue, but I figured it would suit this chapter perfectly. The Godzilla movies are awesome. I got the idea for Carol's power from the Godzilla franchise. Godzilla is now 63 years old and on 64 years in 2018 coming up. I love Godzilla and all the monsters. They are awesome. I think 2016. I'm yawning. Oh, it's so boring, man. Anyways, I think 2016's Godzilla is wicked cool and he is awesome. Let me know what you all think. I hated it. Have a happy new year and be sure to watch the ball drop on New York City before 10 p.m. Mountain Time. See you next time. Godzilla franchise is owned by Toho Studios and and more companies. Dragonheart is owned by Universal Pictures. Fantastic. Chapter 78. Lightning strikes brutally. By some mercy of God, this one's a very, very long one. Considerably longer. I don't think I've gotten a really long chapter like this in a long while. So, savor the moment. Gabriella was in the simulator. Oh, I've run out of water. I'm drowning. I'm not drowning. I'm drying up. Me, Free, Eileen, Naruto, Sakura, Fu, Rin, Lori, Carol, Luann. Yeah, right, Carol. Eddie, Shannon, Lincoln, Linka, Lucy, Laney, Lana, and Lola, Penny, and Lisa are in the control room. The simulator activated, and Gabriella found herself in the form of from of what? I'm reading this wrong, and it's just straight up bad grammar. Found herself in from of Cruncham Hall Elementary School in Pasadena, California. I'm not doing no. All right, I already hate doing the British accent, especially. Uh, it sucks enough having to do it in small bursts, but having to do an entire chapter, short as it may be, of Gabriella talking, no, I'm not doing it. I'm in the movie Matilda, one of my favorites. Gabriella walked around the school and saw that it was an old building loaded with antiquity. She saw a picture on the wall in the hallway next to the entrance. It was a picture of the most beautiful, brutal, not beautiful, brutal principal in history, Miss Agatha Trunchbull. Above it, it said "shot put, javelin, hammer throw." I remember her, and she is evil to the core. I may be 15 years old and I have tremendous power, but I would never hurt a child. Not true. We know that. We straight up know that. Right? Am I crazy? Maybe not Carol, maybe not Gabriella. Gabriella, I keep saying it in two different ways. But oh my eye. But they, different members of Team Loud Phoenix Storm here have absolutely hurt a child. Plenty of them children who are probably younger than them. I'm digging in my eyes right now, hoping to God that I blind myself, but no, all I did was satisfy an itch. I guess I have to keep reading. Haven't have heard a child, says Gabriella. Oof, make up your damn mind. It's it's gonna be Gabriella, right? Gabriel is how, it's like the man version of the name, Gabriel. So it's gonna be Gabriella. Okay. We've glad we got that figured out. Uh, she continued to walk around, and she sensed that. Sorry, I keep rubbing my eyes, and it's messing me up. She continued to walk around, and she sensed that the entire school was totally in the grip of pure fear. This place is filled with fear. I got to find Miss Trunchbull and put an end to all this madness, says Gabriella. Wait, didn't I just say it was Gabriella? My God, it's supposed to be a short chapter, damn it!
Gabriella. Okay, here we go. Stand up straight, stomachs in, shoulders back, commands Miss Trunchbull. That's her, says Gabriella. Gabriella walked up to the door and placed her ear up against it and listened in. She heard Miss Trunchbull say that she will make sure that she kills whoever owns a hair ribbon. I don't know about the movie Matilda, so I'll just have to assume that's normal. Yeah, she heard Miss Trunchbull say that she will make sure that she kills whoever owns a hair ribbon. That does it, says Gabriella. Gabriella stepped back and charged and slammed through the door and landed on the floor and stood ready to fight. Agatha Trunchbull, you will harm no more children today or ever, says Gabriella. The children cheered. Yeah! We're saved, says Lavender. Who are you and what are you doing here, you malignant monster? Says Miss Trunchbull. Bars. My name is Gabriella Elizabeth Loud, and I'm here to stop you from hurting any more children, you monster. Miss Honey, this monster here murdered your dad and hurt lots of kids, and she has to go. Okay, says Gabriella. I had a feeling that Magnus didn't kill himself. What are we talking about? Says Matilda. Is this a kids movie or not? That little man deserved it, so I wait. That little man deserved it, so I can get all his money and house and everything he owns, says Miss Trunchbull. Miss Honey was infuriated, and she punched Miss Trunchbull in the face. You killed my father! You will pay for this, says Miss Honey. Wait, Miss Honey, calm down. She will pay for it. You call the police, and me and Matilda will handle this. Yeah, a 15-year-old and another student will take down the principal, as opposed to the adult. You're an idiot. I don't care how many superpowers you have. No teacher would. Okay, whatever. That's just whatever. Matilda handle this. Yeah, you're right, says Miss Honey. I will gladly help you. No more Miss Nice Girl, says Matilda. Indubitably. Oh, that's when you know she's British. Indubitably. Miss Honey, you need to evacuate the building. This is gonna get rough, says Gabriella. Okay, come on, children. Come on, let's go. Come on, children, let's go, says Miss Honey. The children ran, and Miss Honey knocked on all the doors and got everyone out of there. Miss Trunchbull got up, and she had a nasty black eye. It's over, Trunchbull. You are through, says Gabriella. Gabriella spread her wings and had lightning arching around her hands. That's so cool. Wow, you look like a true angel from heaven, Gabriella, says Matilda. I know, says Gabriella. Gabriella dashed and punched Miss Trunchbull in the face and knocked her and kicked her in the stomach. Gabriella then placed her hand on the floor, sent lightning flowing through it, and it electrocuted the Trunchbull, and she fell to the floor and was numb. Is it a metal floor? Is it a conductive metal floor? Because if it's like a school that I've been to where it's tile, I don't think that lightning's going very far. Anyways, Matilda, your turn, says Gabriella. You got it, says Matilda. Matilda used her telekinesis, which I guess she has, and lifted the Trunchbull and threw her onto a big globe. She spun her around, and Gabriella fired lightning at the globe, and it landed an electromagnetic field that sped up the globe's rotation speed. The globe threw the Trunchbull into the wall, and she crashed into it and went through it and into another classroom. She got up and was dizzy. Seconds later, a bunch of police cars arrived, and a SWAT team burst into the classroom and slaps the handcuffs on the Trunchbull. Not how that happens. Okay? Doesn't matter if she was actually abusing kids, alright? She's not like an active terrorist holding kids hostage currently. At least I don't think she was. So, yeah, they would have just come up and, like, handcuffed her because, oh, you're a suspected child abuser, and then boom. It'd be done. Where was I? Agatha Trunchbull, you are under arrest for first degree murder. Oh, right. I guess maybe that would justify it a little bit more. But who cares? Multiple counts of child abuse resulting in Grievous, General Grievous, one of my favorite Star Wars characters. Anyways, grievous bodily harm, multiple counts of attempted murder, and child abuse resulting in death. What movie is this that kids are dying, man? Says the officer. The kids and Miss Honey all cheered wildly, knowing that the Trunchbull is going to prison for a long, long time. Miss Honey moved back into her father's home after the police tracked down her father's will, and Matilda and Gabriella were having tea and cookies. Okay. Unfortunately, another surprise arrived. Harry and Zinnia Wormwood, Matilda's crime-dealing mother and father came. Not and father crime. It's like a funny version of Father Time. Where was I? Matilda's crime-dealing mother and father came. The FBI had more than enough evidence to prosecute them for possession and sale of stolen property and more. Hey, you! Hey, come on, we're leaving. Let's go. Get in the car. Hurry up, says Zinnia. Gabriella intervened. You're not taking her anywhere, says Gabriella. Who are you? Asks Zinnia. Someone you don't want to know, says Gabriella, pulling out an FBI agent badge. Junior Agent Gabriella Elizabeth Loud, FBI. Adolf Hitler, FBI. I don't know what that's from, but I know it exists. When did Gabriella become an FBI agent? Who cares? You're a speedboat salesman too? Asks Zinnia. No, I'm not. I'm here to arrest you and relinquish Matilda from your custody and place you into the care of Miss Jennifer Honey, says Gabriella. The cars from the FBI pulled up and arrested Harry, Zinnia, and Michael Wormwood. Harry Wormwood, you and Zinnia are under arrest for possession and sale of stolen property, fraud, child abuse, and several counts of neglect. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law, says FBI Agent 1. Matilda smiled at her parents being taken away. Okay, good work, Junior Agent Loud, says FBI Agent 2. Thank you. The new Tracer badge is working like a charm. Tracer? Tracer like Overwatch and Overwatch 2? Anyways. Oops. 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 There we go. The FBI agents drove off with the Wormwoods in custody. Miss Jennifer Honey had officially adopted Matilda. Matilda now has an awesome mother and is now a brilliant and loving girl. Miss Honey is now the new principal of Cruncham Hall Elementary. Gabriella made a huge offer to have the whole school district merged with Wormwood School District, and the superintendent accepted. I used my powers to beam the district to Michigan, and all the kids and the families moved to Royal Woods. Then Honey residence now lives in my neighborhood by our mansion. Notice no portals this time, so I guess just straight up, yep, they used the simulator to teleport to wherever Matilda took place. Whatever, kill me now. Beam District, the Honey residence now lives in my neighborhood by our mansion. Agatha Trunchbull was found guilty on all charges. They found out that she was a nasty serial killer responsible for the death of 25 kids. Oh my god, she's believed to be responsible for even more killings. She was sentenced to 30 terms of life in prison without parole. Okay, killing 25 kids feels like it should be a death sentence, just saying, but whatever. Without parole plus 5,834 years. Like, see, you're locking her up for life. Multiple lives, actually. So she's gonna die in prison. So at this point, even if her crimes weren't that bad, may as well kill her. Because you're not letting her get out. You said without parole. She's stuck in there. I'm just saying. I feel like maybe every once in a while there's a very specific scenario where, yeah, killing her would just straight up be easier and potentially the smarter thing to do. She's killed 25 kids, for Christ's sake. Anyways, because her case was so high profile, they moved her to a prison outside of the country. Are they allowed to do that? She was placed in the Lake Vostok maximum security prison in Antarctica. Wait, we've been there, right? We've put somebody there before. I don't associate with these people. But that's not the first criminal to be locked in the Antarctic prison. Whatever, Harry and Zinnia Wormwood were found guilty on all their charges and sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole for 50 years. Michael was placed into the foster care system. Yeah, uh, does he deserve that? I don't know. Matilda now has lots of friends, and she became friends with the Loud siblings and is one of Lainey's best friends. Naturally. Why Laney? Gabriella did all the goddamn work. Whatever. The end. Another fanfiction completed. I watched the movie Matilda all the time back when I was a kid. Mara Wilson was awesome in this movie. It's a shame she can't act in movies anymore. Okay, buddy. You're not one to be giving out. Danny DeVito. I'm reading ahead. I love how they drove Miss Trunchbull away in the end. I read a lot of fan fictions about that. What happened to Matilda's parents in the end. Danny DeVito is awesome. He's one of the godfathers of crime films because of his gangster-like tone. Imitating Danny. Oh Christ! You got a beef with me? I don't know how Danny DeVito talks. I've heard him plenty. I watch It's Sunny in Philadelphia, and that's a hilarious show. You should check it out. You got a beef with me? You talking to me? I know the trash man clip. I'm the trash man. I throw trash all over the ring. And then I start eating garbage. Anyways, you talking to me? Huh? You talking to me? Anyways, I love those lines. Danny, you rock. Pam Ferris did a really good job as Miss Trunchbull. Rhea Perlman did a good job too, along with Mbeth Davids. Anyway, let me know what you all think. I hated it. See you next time. Matilda was based on the book by Roald Dahl. Matilda the movie from 1996 is owned Danny DeVito, Tristar Pictures, and Jersey Films. Is this the first time a outside franchise from the Loud House has been live action? Because that's what I'm getting out of this. Anyways, right back to the long chapters. Love it. Okay. Chapter 79. No spoilers. Should I read this in dark mode? It might be easier on the eyes, actually. Oh my god. You know what? No. I'll like ask at the start of the next audiobook if people would prefer dark mode. Lenny is on the sofa with Cliff, who is blinking to her through a looking hole. Okay. Gosh, what does that mean? Asks Lenny, gasping at Cliff's blinking. It's revealed that Lincoln is viewing them through a periscope. He retracts it and heads into Lori and Carol's room where the other sisters and their dad, me, Marie, Ali, Lapis, Matilda, Jerry, the Eds, Haiku, I don't remember who Haiku is, Tabby, Gabriella, Liam, Zach, Riley, Naruto, and the girls, Ben and Gwen, are gathered and closes the door. Naruto and the girls reminds me of Christian and the Hedgehog boys. I don't know why. I should do it. Oh my god, I should listen to the Christian and the Hedgehog boys soundtrack. You know, the you just or maybe just all of Chris's covers. Maybe I can do a ranking video of Okay, Lenny. Okay, Lenny should be occupied for a while. I told her she can communicate with Cliff by blinking, says Lincoln. Good thinking, buddy, says I say. Let's hope she doesn't come up here too soon, says Marie. I call this meeting to order, says Lori, banging her shoe gavel. Operation Rita's surprise party is a go, says Carol. Oh, so glad we've got Carol here now. She's already adding so much. We've tried throwing a few surprise parties in this family, but it's always gone wrong, and we all know why, or should I say, who, says Lincoln to the viewers. Flashback to one surprise party. Lynn is watching from the door's window and gets down. Okay, she's coming. Everyone hide, says Lynn. Lincoln, Luna, Luann, Lucy, Lana, Lola, and Lisa hide, and Lily covers her eyes. Lenny is outside with a party hat and present, and Lori walks up to the door. Lenny, what are you doing? Lenny, what are you doing? Asks Lori. Shh, I'm hiding for your surprise party, says Lenny. Everyone inside groans at the spoiler. Flashback to another ruined surprise with Lisa looking angry and holding something. Siblings, I am perplexed as to why I have just received an invitation to my own surprise birthday party, says Lisa. Oh, I sent that. I wanted to make sure you'd be there, says Lenny. Ha ha ha! Lori shuts her up, and the others groan disappointed. Switch to another flashback with Lenny talking to Luna and holding dresses. Luna, should I wear the pink or the blue dress to your surprise party? Asks Lenny. Dude! Exclaims Luna, upset. What? Asks Clenny, clueless. Clenny? Asks Clenny, clueless. I've done that twice now. I think I did it for Lori and Lenny. Maybe it's going backwards. Maybe the next oldest. I don't even know who the next oldest is. Maybe the soccer, the sports sister. Maybe Lucy. I don't know. Anywho. Enter Luann wearing 2 yellow and brown striped party hats. I pink you just blew the surprise. Get it? But seriously, you ruined it. There's a pun, James. Study that. I pink you just blew the surprise. Wordplay. Ha 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 ha. Closest thing. Yeah, whatever. And flashbacks. Well, this year we want to throw a surprise party for Mom, which means as much as we love her, we have to keep Lenny out of it, says Lincoln. Oh, what is this? Lori shows a card of her and Carol cleaning up. Great. Okay, guys, let me break it down for you. Me and Carol will do the cleaning. She switches the card to Penny, Sakura, Fu, Matilda, Lola, and Lynn with treats. Penny, Anastasia. Anastasia wasn't even mentioned. Weird. Penny, Anastasia, Sakura, Fu, Matilda, Lola, and Lynn are on food. Switches the card to add Double D, Gabriella, Naruto, Linka, Haiku, Lucy, and Lana, and with balloons and streamers. Isn't Haiku like the one of the dates from the dance where everybody got powers? One of the dates for like Rusty and the other 2 guys. Why is she here? Whatever. No, it was for Clyde. It was for Clyde. Haiku was for Clyde. Whatever. Where was I? Yeah, Haiku, Lucy, and Lana with balloons and streamers. Double D, Gabriella, Naruto, Linka, Haiku, Lana, and Lucy will be on decorations. Switches to a card with Eileen, Ten. I don't remember who Ten is. Eddie, Shannon, Mikari, Luna, and Luann performing, and Ben, Gwen, Jerry, Hanada, and Lisa with a list. Eileen, Ten, Eddie, Shannon, Mikari, Luann, and Luna will handle entertainment. Ben, Gwen, Jerry, Hanada, and Lisa will be in charge of the guest list. She switched to a card of Lainey, Riley, Krista, and Lily with a clipboard. Lainey, Riley, Krista, and Lily will plan the whole party. She switches the card to their parents leaving the house, and Dad, Tabby, Lapis, Liam, and Zach will get Mom out of the house. It's foolproof, says Lori. What about me? What's my job? Asks Lincoln. What's our job? I ask also. You, Ed, JD, and Varee have the most important job of all. She switches a card of Lenny with a caption that says, just make JD, Ed, Varee, and Lincoln do it. You 4 have to keep Lenny distracted till Mom comes home. If she's coming our way, just yell a code word. Let's make it Daffodil, says Lori. I salute her. You can count on us, General Lori. Kill yourself. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That came out of fucking nowhere. I stand by it, but little sudden. We will not fail, says Varee. Lenny is my girlfriend, and I am always willing to be with her, says Ed for no fucking reason. Right? No. I guess there is a reason. It's just weird. Can it be something cooler like Serpent or Quasar or Lincoln gets cut off? Lenny comes in and we all scream, as does Lenny. Is this how we're saying hello now? I like it. Don't mind me. Just getting my polish, says Lenny, grabbing her polish. Cliff blinked that he wants me to do his nails. Oh, by the way, while I have you guys, it's Mom's birthday today. I was thinking we should throw her one of our famous loud family surprise parties if everyone agrees. I'll go tell her right now, says Lenny. No! Maybe Miss Rita doesn't want a party this year, I say. Yeah, JD's right. Let's just keep it low key, says Lori. Yeah, totes, says Lynn Sr. Definitely. Low key, says all of the sisters. Hey, Lenny, while you're here, we have some urgent fashion questions for you, says Lincoln. While me, Vree, Ed, and Lincoln have Lenny distracted, the rest of the family sneaks out of the room. Guys, all fashion questions are urgent, says Lenny. Downstairs, the other sisters see their parents, Tabby, Liam, Lapis, and Zach, leaving. Okay, kids, we're leaving now. I'm taking your mother shopping because I love to shop, says Lynn Sr., acting. He goes out the door, winks to them, and closes the door. We should stop including Dad in the surprise party planning too, says Lucy. He's not that bad, I say. He's really bad, though. Obviously he's bad. It's so obvious. Kiss ass. Later, Lainey, Riley, and Lily were putting on glasses, neckties, and holding clipboards. Official party planners Lainey, Riley, Lily, and Krista reporting for duty, says Lainey, reading clipboard. Let's see here. Decorations. She walks over to the living room and sees Lucy, Naruto, and Ino orange, putting up black, orange, and purple streamers, and Double D, Gabriella, Linka, and Lana, and Haiku were inflating red, blue, orange, brown, and black balloons. Weird palette, but whatever. Great job, guys. But do you think we should use all the colors of the rainbow for these decorations? We have to keep it low key, remember? Says Lucy with a question mark. I know, but it doesn't scream party yet, says Lenny. Back in Laurie and Carol's room, Lenny gets out a plaid fabric. Right. And this is plaid, says Lenny. Pretty, I say. It's plaid. It's not pretty. I mean, it's not hideous, mind you. It's a perfectly fine fabric and pattern, but it's not pretty. Whatever. To each their own. Plaid is my favorite. Of course it is. The mermaid loves plaid. Did you even need to say it? I think we all knew. I've always wanted to make Scottish kilts for all of us, says Marie. Naturally. That is totes adorbs, says Lenny. Oh, Lenny, I love it when you make great clothes, says Ed. Thanks, Ed, says Lenny. So, is there a difference between plaid and checkers? Asks Lincoln. Huge difference. But to really help you understand, I should go get some samples from downstairs, says Lenny. Wait, Lenny! I exclaim. Lincoln blocks the door so she can't get out. No! I mean, I have a more important question. Is it ever okay to wear jorts? Asks Lincoln. Oh, gosh, Lincoln. We need to go back to square one, says Lenny, shocked. We all sigh, relieved. Lenny grabs him and puts him on the bed. I need to hydrate before we start, she says, leaving the room. Rose! No, I mean Buttercup, I say. They're saying the wrong flowers. Is there a flower named Buttercup? I don't know. I know there's a peanut butter cup, and they're tasty. Tulip, I mean Daisy. What the heck was the word? The heck was the word? Asks Lincoln, panicking. Lucy, Naruto, Gabriella, Ed, Double D. Oh, it's so annoying not having them all lined up so I can say Ed, and Eddie, and everybody knows what I mean. Okay, Lucy, Naruto, Gabriella, Double D, Haiku, Linka, and Lana are doing the decorations when they notice Lenny. Ah! Panics Lucy. Naruto puts up a genjutsu and Lenny doesn't even know. It's all there under the cover of an illusion. A fart noise is heard. I thought it would be funny. If anybody knows what that's from. I thought it would be funny. Get down. Anyways, Naruto puts up. Oh, sorry, guys. Must have been something I ate, says Lenny, thinking she farted and going to the kitchen. Good thinking with the genjutsu, Naruto, says Ino. Thanks, Ino, says Naruto. In the kitchen, Lola and Penny are frosting the cake. Sakura and Lin pouring hot sauce on a sandwich. Matilda and Fu are making a pizza. Enter Lenny. Hey guys, says Lenny. The food making group Yelp. Fu puts up a genjutsu to hide everything, and Lenny doesn't see it all. Kinda lame. Maybe we could get a little bit more creative with it. Oh, right, I forgot our new greeting, says Lenny. She screams and gets a glass of water, stopping with inspiration. Even if we're not throwing Mom a party, maybe we should make her favorite cake. You heard what Lori said. We're keeping it low key, says Lynn. Enter Lincoln, sweating and still panicking. Daffodil! Uh, me, Marie, Ed, and Lincoln all say, breathing heavily. We're not ready for floral prints, guys, says Lenny, misinterpreting. Back in Lori and Carol's room. Well, that covers everything, says Lenny. Her whole room is filled with different design fabrics. Literally, says Lincoln. Yeah, I say. I love all these colors, says Ed, because that's what friggin' relationships are. Blindly loving every little bitty bit of everything that a person you like is also into. You know? I mean, it definitely helps the relationship if you find interest in um if you can find shared interest in something your partner likes. But it's a little dystopian to have two random people just get together and instantly they love each other. Everything that you love, I love. Everything that I love, you love. It works out perfectly. Anywho, I love all these colors, says Ed. I'm gonna go gossip with Cliff, says Lenny. Wait, says Lincoln, blocking the door. Hey, you're always looking for a dress model. Well, Lincoln grins nervously. I'm your guy, he says. Me too, I say. Same here, says Marie. Me too, says Ed. You have Ed. He's your boyfriend. He should always be a dress model. Lenny gasps and is now working on a new outfit with us as said models. My sisters owe me big time, says Lincoln, disgruntled. What was that, says Lenny. I said, I think we need to redo the hemline. Hemlines, I say. Says Lincoln, grinning nervously again. Scene shifts to me wearing a red, orange, and yellow plaid Scottish tartan kilt that goes down to my ankles. Okay. Boy, I look amazing in a Scottish kilt. Doubt it. I don't think you look amazing in anything, you horribly ugly bastard. I don't know what James Knudsen looks like, but I am personally angry at him, so I'm going to picture him as a big, blubbering doofus. Vivie's wearing an aqua blue, aqua green, and dark blue plaid Scottish tartan kilt that goes down to her ankles, too. Lenny made kilts of varying colors for everyone. Eileen Tenton, Eddie Shannon, Makari, Luna, and Luann are getting their props for the show and close their door loudly. Keep it down, guys. None will hear, says Lori from the bathroom in a cleaning outfit. From the bathroom, we don't want her to hear us, says Carol from the bathroom in a cleaning outfit as well. Sorry, whispers Eddie. They all nod and start tiptoeing it down the hallway, but Luann's joke teeth fall out. Luna trips over it, yelps, lands with a thud, and drops her instruments, making a loud crashing noise. What was that? Asks Lenny, having heard the commotion. Nothing, I say. Nothing? I didn't hear Luna drop her cymbals? Oh, my bad. Nothing. I didn't hear Luna drop her cymbals, says Lincoln, realizing what he said. He sees Lenny heading for the door. Daffodil, Daffodil! This is giving Shannon flashbacks to her time in the Daffodil Gang. Eileen, Ten, Eddie, Shannon, Makari, Luann, and Luna hide their props and tend casually as Lenny comes by with Lincoln behind her. Guys, you gotta, says Lincoln. Lincoln gets cut off, slipping on Luna's drums, falling downstairs and landing with Walt flying around his head like a cartoon bird. Dazed. Daffodil, he says. Double D, Gabriella, Naruto, Ino, Linka, Haiku, Lucy, and Lana stop their work under the genjutsu and help Lincoln up. Are you okay, Lincoln? Asks Laney. Boy, that was a nasty fall. Let me look you over. We're wasting time. Whatever. Boy, that was a nasty fall. Let me look you over, says Ino. Ino uses her medical chakra to look him over. I hope you didn't get a concussion, Lincoln, says Naruto. Lincoln, you need to get your proverbial act together, says Lisa. Yeah, we'll never get this done if we have to keep starting over, says Lucy. Mevery, Ed, and Lenny come downstairs with Lori and Carol right behind us. Are you all right, Lincoln? I ask, because I'm such a good guy. Yeah, are you okay, Lincoln? If you want to jump down the stairs, I have just the thing. Parachute pants. I know we're not having a party, but shouldn't we at least do a little decorating for Mom's birthday? Says Lenny. Asks Lenny. To repeat, keeping it low key, says Lisa. He's all right, everyone. He's a little dazed, but he will be okay, says Eno. Oh, thank goodness. Thank you, Eno. Lincoln gets an idea. But we could use a great card. Maybe one with a camel and a spacesuit. That's also scratch and sniff. And that also says happy birthday from all of us, says Lincoln. Adorbs, but where do I find one? Asks Lenny. The Hazel Tucky Party Outlet, says Lincoln. That's like 3 bus rides away, but it's from Mom, and she's totes worth it, says Lenny, genuinely being a great daughter right now. Boing! Oh, Ed gets an idea, so he says boing. I think that's something he does in the show, or it's a weird thing that James Knudsen had him do. And I'll come with you, says Ed. You will, says Lenny. Asks Lenny. Yes, I will, says Ed, whispering to us. I'll make sure nothing bad happens to Lenny, says Ed. Oh, thank you, Ed, my dumpling. I knew I could count on you. She kisses him. She kisses his cheek. Weird. Bye, she says, dragging Ed, and leaves. Nice thinking, big brother, says Lana, locking her brother into a playful noogie. Way to go, buddy, I say. Yeah, that's not possible. There's no possible way she'll ever find a card like that, says Lenny. Can someone help me with the streamers? Asks Lucy. Lenny comes back and we all gasp. Lori grabs Lucy and tosses her to the other side of the room. Ah, says Lucy, crashing off screen. I forgot my shoes, says Lenny, looking down and sees she's wearing them. Looks down and sees she's wearing them. Oh wait, no I didn't. Okay, bye. She leaves again. Everyone sighs relieved. Okay, we lost some valuable time, but we can still do this. Everyone back to work, says Lori. Yes, ma'am, I say, saluting her. Awesome. Lori notices my kilt. That is a great kilt, JD. Thank you, Lori. Thanks, Lori. Lenny made it, I say. Double D, Gabriella, Naruto, Ino, Luca, Haiku, Lucy, and Lana resume decorating after Naruto released the Genjutsu, and Lana comes across a problem. How are we doing, everyone? Asks Lainey. Not so good, Lanes. I'm out of balloons, says Lana. Well, can you find a way to get some more? Asks Lainey. Oh, I know. My emergency stash of ABC gum. That's gross. She gets some gum from under the banister, chews a piece, and blows a grody bubble to act as a balloon. Lainey shudders. Indeed. Okay, we can work with this, says Lainey. That is a little insanitary, Lana, but we can work with that temporarily, says Double D. What does that even mean? All of these balloons are temporarily, unless you're only blowing it up until you can get more balloons for specifically the party, in which case, why'd you blow it up in the first place? Kill me. Says Double D. Lucy runs out of streamers and uses some of Lana's emergency toilet paper from her pocket to act as a substitute. Lana walks away. In the kitchen, Riley looks at Lynn, who is working on her sandwich, and dumps a jar of jalapenos on it. Isn't that a little too spicy for your mom, then? Asks Riley. Nah, I know the momster. She can handle anything, says Lynn. She takes a taste, gets her face red, feels steam coming out of her eyes, screams and thuds. Still not hot enough, she says, normally, pouring more Tabasco sauce on it. Here, Lynn, put this on it, I say. I hand Lynn a bottle of hot sauce. Lynn reads the label. Chernobyl Nightmare Carolina Reaper Death Sauce. Caution, extremely hot. Now we're talking. Thanks, JD, says Lynn. You're welcome, I say. She pours the whole bottle onto it. Riley looks at Lola's cake. Lola, what kind of cake is that? Asks Riley. I'm scratching my nose. Give me a minute. Lola takes a taste of her cake and suddenly gets a serious sugar rush while running around and welling like crazy. Whoa, now that is a sugar rush, says Ruri. No kidding, says Sakura. Still not sweet enough, says Lola. Normal. Pouring a sack of sugar onto the cake. Oh, are you sure we're not going to have JD come over and say, hey, use this? Giving Lana super duper sugar, triple compressed, pink sugar. I'm saying pink sugar because I know there's like pink salt, which is like extra salty salt, basically. Whatever. Meanwhile, Ed and Lenny are riding the bus to Hazel Tuckery Party Outlet. Oh, look at this. This is all original. Oh, maybe not. Thanks again for coming with me. Sweetie, says Lenny. No problem, says Ed. You can bet your sweet Bippy I did. I'm glad we can get a card for Mom's birthday. She's the best mom in the whole world, and I wish we could throw her the best party ever. But for some reason, everyone keeps saying we need to go low key. I just don't get it, says Lenny. Ed feels really bad for Lenny. All she wants to do is throw her mother a great party. Ed decides to tell her the truth. You'll ruin everything. Lenny, listen. Isn't Ed also a stupid character? If anything, it should be just as dangerous. You know, they should be keeping Lenny and Ed busy. Whatever. Ed feels really bad for Lenny. All she wants to do is throw her mother a great party. Ed decides to tell her the truth. Ed takes a deep breath. Lenny, listen. I have to confess something. I have a confession to make. We are planning Mrs. Loud a surprise party. We were just trying to make sure you didn't find out. Why? Asks Lenny. We were worried that you were gonna spoil the surprise, says Ed. Lenny looks down. But hey, I've noticed something. Lenny, you may spoil surprises, but you also know how to throw a good party. You think about what other people like and take the time to come up with new ways to make it better, says Ed. Aw, Ed, says Letty, blushing. You know what? Forget going low-key. When we get back home, we're going to throw Mrs. Loud the best surprise party she's ever had, says Ed. Oh, thank you, Ed. You're the best boyfriend in the whole world. I love you, says Lenny. I love you too, Lenny, says Ed. You bet your sweet bippy I did. They kiss on the bus in front of everyone, even though I think there's an age gap. Everyone on the bus, oh. Later, we all is finished with our plans and are waiting for the guests when the doorbell rings. The guests have arrived, says Lisa. Oh, good. At least we all got that taken care of, says Lisa. Says Laney, as Lisa opens the door. Enter Flip, eating a bag of chips and smacking his fingers like a slob. How do, says Flip. I walk over. Flip? What are you doing here? I ask. Yeah, says Laney. Officer Paul was with him. What? He's on a special work release program for prisoners. Me and Officer Stacy are tasked with watching over him 24/7, and if he does anything cheap or anything like he was doing a while ago, it's back to the clink, says Officer Paul. Firstly, Flip eating chips and saying how do is kind of awesome. I love that. Why in God's name would you let a prisoner come into like the house of the people who got him locked up for like their mother's birthday? Like that does not make sense. What time is it, man? This is this one sucks. I'm not liking this one at all. Where was I? Oh well, that's different, I say. As long as he doesn't cause any trouble, you're okay with this. They're all okay with this, says Laney. Yep, Flip has a policy of never showing up empty-handed. So here, says Flip, handing Lisa his gift, and she can't lift it because it was too heavy. God Zeus, what is this? Asks Lisa. I lifted it up and it was heavy. You're so very strong. Geez, this present weighs a ton. I shake it and hear coins jingling and metallic clanking. It sounds like loose change and something else in here, I say. Flip found all that while he was working, and we decided to give it to Rita Loud for her birthday. A bunch of loose change? Thank you. Now that she lives in a multi-million-dollar mansion, she really needs all this loose change. Whatever, says Officer Stacy. Oh, cool. Thanks, Flip. Thanks, officers, I say. You're welcome, says Officer Paul. You're welcome, says Flip, belching. Rap. Where's the grub? He asks. Enter Mr. Grouse. Someone turn on the boob tube. Boob. Anywho. Someone turn on the boob tube, says Mr. Grouse, sitting down next to Lana and turning on the TV. Ooh, color. Fancy. Enter Dr. Feinstein. Dr. Feinstein, greetings, says Lisa. Dr. Feinstein tips his hat to her and gives her a toothbrush. Hello, Doctor. I've been keeping my teeth clean, see? I smile and my teeth are as white as sparkly as diamonds. I say. Good job, JD. He gives me a toothbrush. Keep it. See you in 4 months, says Dr. Feinstein. Is that a threat? Don't threat JD. Obviously, it's not. Will do, Doc, I say. How in the world did you come up with this abysmal guest list? Asks Lucy. According to my algorithm, the people Mother encounters most are her employer, our cantankerous neighbor, and the owner of our local convenience store. Flips is gone, Lisa, I say. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Lisa, you need to wake up. That happens to me too, says Lainey. Just because she encounters them doesn't mean she likes them, says Lucy. Well, just because she uses toilet paper doesn't mean she'll find it a suitable party decoration, says Lisa. Ugh, I told you we should have just stuck with my brown balloons, says Lana. Yeah, because everyone wants their party to look like Cliff's litter box, says Lynn, sarcastic. Ooh, dig, burn, burn, dig. Dig. I think I'm going brain dead. I need to focus. This fine ass music is distracting me. Should I reveal it? Because it's amazing. It's amazing music, but I don't think I'll reveal it. Where was I? Right. Lainey looks like she's about to break down. Lainey, are you feeling okay? Asks Lincoln. I'm fine, Lincoln. Maybe. Llewellyn's having better luck. Finding good jokes, says Laney, with a forced smile. Enter Llewellyn. Enter Llewellyn down the banister. Hey guys, I got some great jokes for the party. Boy, Mom is so old, her social security number is 1. I would have invited guests for Mom's birthday party, but they're all extinct, says Luann. Haha. I laugh at Luann's jokes, which, might be a little mean-spirited, but it's not that bad. Those are not the jokes I had in mind, says Laney. I don't think Mom wants to hear jokes about how old she is, says Lori. Yeah, you're right, Lori, says Eddie. Instantly, I thought you were supposed to be supportive of Luann, Eddie. Boss man's got a point, dude. We don't ju- Why don't we just stick to my jams for the entertainment, says Luna, strumming her guitar wildly and wailing at the top of her lungs. Lola unplugs the guitar. Mom is going to hate that. It'll make her ears bleed, says Lola. Right after my teeth fall out from eating your cake, says Luna. Flip eats a piece of Lynn's sandwich from the buffet table, and due to its extreme spiciness, gets his mouth burned, and he runs around screaming like a little girl, and officers Paul and Stacy are laughing hysterically as he frantically searches for water. Oh, because why not? A little bit more torture for the guys we hate. We're all insane here. Where was I? Let me try some. Oh, kill me. I also skipped ahead. Lynn, what did you put in that sub? You're going to burn Mom's taste buds, says Lincoln. Let me try some, says I say. Mind you, it was you who offered the Carolina Reaper hot sauce or whatever it was. But hey, whatever. Oh, whatever. What was I? Let me try some, I say. I try a piece of Lynn's sandwich, and a massive thermonuclear explosion goes off behind me in the background. Now that's good spice. Great job, Lynn, I say, because he's light work, no reaction. He's so cool. He's so awesome. Thanks, JD. Don't criticize my job when you could barely do yours, says Lynn to Lincoln. They all start arguing. Enough! Screams Laney. All our eyes were on her. Whoa, what's your deal, Lanes? Asks Luna. I'll tell you my deal. The food's appalling, the entertainment is bad, the guests are awful. Sorry, officers and doctor. Hey, I resent that, says Flip, burping. Brap. And this does not look like a birthday party for Mom. Take off her glasses and she says, taking off her glasses and tie. I had one job with Riley and Lily to make sure Mom had the best surprise party of her life, and we blew it, says Laney, breaking down crying. Boo-hoo. Very comforts Laney. Yeah, this party literally stinks, says Lori. You're right, says Lincoln. Look at this mess, says Lola. We all agree. I don't get it. Where did we go wrong? We've never thrown a bad party before, says Luann. Are we missing something? Asks Luna. Yeah, a decent sports package, says Mr. Grouse, changing the channels. By the way, how was your Christmas, Mr. Grouse? Oh, so yeah, this is the same guy that they sent away. They sang their carol to. Christmas Carol. Not Carol the character. We have all forgiven. uh, hey, why didn't they say no offense, Mr. Grouse? I thought they all liked each other now. Whatever. It was good, JD. Thank you for asking. Thank you, JD. My family was so happy to see me, says Mr. Grouse. I'm so glad, I say. It's Lenny! It's Lenny! Says Lincoln, gasping in realization. She may spoil all the surprises, but she's the only one who knows how to throw a good party. Lenny? But doesn't she just spoil the surprise, I ask? Look at that. JD kind of being in the wrong for once. Lincoln's right. Lenny actually thinks about what people like, says Lynn. Yeah, says Marie. We need to call her and get her back here now, says Lori, calling Lenny. Over at Hazel Tucky Party Outlet, Ed and Lenny is looking at the different cards and opens one, but at the same time her phone rings, making her think something. Ooh, a musical card, says Lenny, oblivious to her phone ringing. Cool, says Ed, who is suddenly stupid as well. She closes it and opens it again at another ringing cue. I don't think Mom would be into that, she says, putting it back. I like it, though. I should make it my ringtone. That's kind of funny. I doubt that it's JD's writing, though. You do that, my cinnamon rolls, says Ed. Great. Back at the house. She's not answering, exclaims Lori. We have to go get her, says Lincoln. I will stay here with everyone else, I say. Or you could just teleport her, because I know that you can teleport. And even if you can't, you have super speed. Whatever. I'll stay here with everyone else, I say. Me and Lenny will stay here too, says Free. The kids go to get Lenny. It's late and the kids return without Lenny. I guess we really blew it. We couldn't find Lenny, and now we can't give Mom a decent. Lincoln gets cut off. As he steps in and turns out the light, someone familiar greets him. Surprise, says Lenny and Ed. Uh, Lenny has a present. Decorations are everywhere. Cheesy brass music is playing in the background, and the guests include Aunt Ruth, Albert, Pam, Ronnie Ann, Bobby, Maria, Bill and Jill, Mom and Dad, and two other women. What? What do you mean, Mom and Dad? Whatever. Flip, Mr. Gauss, Dr. Feinstein were still there, along with officers Paul and Stacy. Me and Marie are talking to Albert and Laney, and Albert and Laney is talking to Aunt Ruth. Oh, it's you guys. Hurry up and hide. Mom will be home any minute, says Lenny. Lenny, what's going on? Asks Lori. Yeah, says Riley. Don't be mad. I know you wanted to go low key, but I found all this great stuff at the store and I decided maybe we should go high key. Doesn't Mom totally deserve it? Asks Lenny, guiltily. And I was the one who convinced her to do it. Sorry, guys, says Ed, also guilty. By the way, Lenny shouldn't really be feeling guilty, She was informed that they were throwing a party. Whatever. I don't care. We're almost done. Where was I? Also guilty. Sorry, guys, says Ed guiltily. Lenny puts the present down and holds up the card Lincoln requested. Plus, I found that card you wanted me to get. It is totes cute. And it's a scratch and sniff, too, she says, scratching the camel. Lola takes the card, sniffs it, and gags. Ugh, camel. Give me that, says Lana. She takes it and smells it and feels intoxicated. Ah, camel. Weird. At that moment, they hear their dad outside. Wait, so Mom and Dad aren't here? Oh, is it Mom and Dad, but from JD's family? No, that doesn't make sense. JD was in there. It was Lincoln who were entering. Yeah, whatever. I guess I'll put the key in. Right. At that moment, they hear their dad outside. I guess I'll put the key in the door and open the front door now, says Lynn Sr., acting. Mom's here. Mom's here, says Lenny. Everyone goes into hiding spot, and the parents come in and the guests burst out. Us, the kids, the guests. Surprise! Oh my goodness, says Rita, gasping with joy. Happy birthday, Mom, says Lenny. Happy birthday, Miss Rita, I say. Oops. Okay. Happy birthday, Miss Rita, says Lenny. Happy birthday, Miss Rita, I say. Oh, kids, you've really outdone yourselves. Look at all these decorations. You remember violet is my favorite color. She smells something. And do I smell pad thai? She asks. Yep, and German chocolate cake for dessert. That sounds awesome, actually. Thank you so much, kids. This is the perfect party, says Rita. Actually, you should thank Lenny. We tried to do this without her, but it was a disaster, says Lincoln. Don't worry, guys. I know about that. Ed told me, says Lenny. Sorry, says Ed, guilty. Yeah, we're sorry. We're sorry, Lenny. We were afraid you'd spoil the surprise. We didn't realize you're the only one of us thoughtful enough to make a party really special, says Lincoln. In fact, from now on, how would you like to be our official party planner? Asks Lenny. But I thought Laney was the party planner along with Riley, Lily, and Krista. Well, if there can be multiple party planners, why can't you just, be added to the group? Lenny, you ignoramus. I guess that makes sense. Okay, what was I? From now on, official party planner. Not anymore. I thought we could handle the pressure of planning the perfect party, says Laney. Well, we don't even know what Miss Rita likes, says Riley. That's probably because you aren't related to her. No excuse for Riley though. I mean Laney though. Miss Rita likes, says Riley. Lily hands Lenny her clipboard. Here, Lenny, you deserve this more than us, she says. Yay, thanks, you guys, says Lenny, clapping excitedly. You hear that, Dad? I'm planning a surprise party next, but don't worry, I'll send you an invitation, she says to her father. Everyone else in the room face palms from Lenny's big spoiler. The end. Another fanfiction completed. I wanted to do this one before the beginning of the new year. Let me know what you all think. Hated it. I hope this all turned out as good as I had hoped. Happy New Year, everyone, and may you all have a happy 2018. See you next time. Okay, great. I didn't like this one. It was long and it was annoying and I hated it, but it was not that bad, I guess. Longer chapters does make me hate them more. That's just how it is. Like and subscribe. I guess, yeah. See you next time.